Hampshire reeling as Harmer stars with bat and ball. Hampshire will have been left scratching their heads after day one in Chelmsford. They'd reduced Essex to 56 for 5, only for Shane Snater to dig the hosts out of a hole with an electric 71 before Simon Harmer had the visitors in a spin. His 4 for 23 left them in all sorts of trouble, 68 for 6 at the start of day 2. Keith Barker eats pressure for breakfast. He and Brown had a full plate, but tucked in with relish. Both men took on the early bowling of Cook and Harmer, and the score started to look much healthier, 100 up after 4 day 2 overs. But Harmer wouldn't be denied for long. Another 5-wicket haul his, when Barker got the reverse wrong and heard the stumps rattle behind him, out for an eye-catching 24. Despite the better showing from Hampshire, Essex still had the momentum, and Harmer capitalised for a 6th. Fuller outcaught by Cook, the visitors now with just 2 wickets in hand. Make that 7 for Harmer, the deficit 100 when Brown nicked behind for 38. Last recognised batter dealt with, Hampshire 9 down, damage done, ground lost to Surrey in the chase at the top. Lawrence launched, Abbott's defiance down the order, a replacement ball required, 23 off the over, 150 on the board. Hindsight 2020, as was the number 10's approach. No more, said Harmer. Abbott hammered him deep, Beard got underneath it. Hampshire all out for 163, trailing by 75. Much better, but not good enough yet. The spinner had been sensational. 8 wickets his, 46 conceded, and Essex on top. Just 5 scores of double figures in a disappointing innings for the visitors. Brown and Cook had Essex off to a solid start, but the pace of the match refused to let up. Organ delivered 5 balls into his spell. Cook caught by Vince for 16. It was 2 in 2. Wesley slightly unfortunate. The catch, a blinder at short leg by Anairin Donald under the lid. Lawrence joined Brown. Essex ahead, but in a bit of danger thanks to the Hampshire twirlers. Chances went begging, Brown watching on as the ball dropped just out of reach, but Dawson struck on the cusp of lunch. Lawrence LBW, Essex headed in 45 for 3, and the match was still anyone's. Organ struck soon after the break, Walter LBW for 1, Essex now 4 down and still shy of 50 runs. And it went from bad to worse. Pepper reversed Dawson straight to Organ, out for 7, Essex now 5 down. Time for another Rossington rescue job, a gritty showing from the keeper, the score extending towards 100, the lead up to 150. He was the man to put 3 figures on the board, and then watched on as Brown lashed Abbott to the ropes to bring the 50 partnership up. That was the last of his contributions, out to Dawson, taken by Holland at leg slip, the lead 180. Like Snater before him, Rossington was putting on a bit of a show, and Essex were in the driving seat as he took 2 off Dawson to move to 50 off just 52 balls. Rossington would eventually fall for 60, out to the spin of Dawson, well taken by a diving Fuller, but Essex now led by 228. The innings had made the early trouble seem a distant memory. By the time they reached tea, Essex were now in control, the score 155 for 7 and the lead 230. Simon Harmer was stamping his authority all over this contest, earlier with the ball and now with the bat. The hosts growing in confidence as the spinners' knock moved from strength to strength. They were 14 away from 200 when Snater fell. Dawson's 5th of the innings, a simple catch chipped to Holland in the leg side. Beard joined Harmer, the spinner now on 46, and flicked one into the offside to bring up 200, but more importantly, he gave his partner the strike. And he took full advantage of it too. Organ clubs down the ground and into the gardens for 6. Harmer up to 50 off 82 balls, a star with the bat now as well as the ball. He would eventually fall for an innings top score of 61, a big swipe aimed and missed, and stumps rattled by Dawson for a 6th wicket to the Hampshire spinner, whose body language told the story. It was 2 in 2 for Dawson, with a 7th of the innings and a 10th of the match. Cook unable to get off the mark and nicking through to Brown. Essex all out for 223 and Hampshire set 299 to win. More than either side had managed so far in the game. Dawson had followed in Harmer's footsteps before him, finishing with impressive figures of 7 for 68. The first time a spinner other than Harmer himself had taken 5 or more at Chelmsford in more than 8 years. But was it too little too late after his fellow spinner had pumped 61 off 99 to help Essex set that relatively imposing target? Felix Organ was given licence to hit out early, perhaps taking a leaf out of Abbott's book earlier. Harmer sent soaring for 6. And again a few overs later, the Hampshire opener dealing almost exclusively in maximums as the day wore towards its conclusion. It was confident stuff from the visitors, 35 added off the first 10 overs, and little offered to Essex so far, and all the way to the close. They were left needing 264 with 2 days in which to get it. So far, in this innings, Harmer hasn't looked quite as threatening, but spin has been at the forefront, and his moment will come. What remains to be seen is if Hampshire have it in them to chase this down. One way or another, day 3 will see a finish.